Hey guys, before knowing what is Docker and how is it useful in test automation, we need to know few more things like what is a VM, cloud computing web services like AWS, Microsoft, Azure. VM, a virtual machine, is a compute resource that uses software instead of a physical computer. Companies purchase cloud web services from AWS, Microsoft Azure, and deploy security policy firewall to access their applications in a VM and provide these to employees with a username and password. We connect to the remote machine via remote desktop connection app in our laptop or computer. At present, most of the departments like IT technical teams in the companies are using virtual desktop for completing their day-to-day work. These are also few open source tools for creating virtual machines like Oracle, VM VirtualBox, VMware, etc. For creating a choice of operating systems like Windows, Mac, Linux based Ubuntu operating systems, any type of virtual desktop. For example, you can install Oracle VM VirtualBox in your computer, say Windows machine, and can create a Linux based Ubuntu virtual machine. You can log into that machine and Linux operating system is up and running on your computer. Isn't it awesome? Amazon Web Services. Amazon that provides on-demand cloud computing platforms to individual, companies and governments on a metered or pay-as-you-go basis. These cloud computing web services provide various services related to networking, storage, etc. Amazon Web Services virtual computers emulate most of the attributes of a real computer. Docker is also used to create virtual machine. In Docker terminology, it's known as image. By now, you might also want to know what's the difference between Docker and cloud web services like AWS, Microsoft Azure. Let's get into more details on Docker. Have you ever had this problem? Test script is working on local machine but not in the remote machine. Let's assume you developed your test script using Java. Java has multiple versions from 1 to 11. People using Java 8 most often. Selenium, it has its own version. Chrome, Firefox, all of them have their different versions. When you develop your test scripts, you would have Java 8 in local and in remote Java 11. Chrome version also auto upgraded in remote machine. This kind of version compatibility issues sometimes could be permission issue, create a file or file missing, folder missing. Sometimes it could be firewall port issues. When we talk about environment issues, that could be anything. These kind of infrastructure related issues are a bit difficult to solve. Let's say you developed your test script and works fine in your machine with Java 8 and Chrome 65. You deployed your script on remote machine and tried to run in remote machine, but it's not working and throws exception. After doing a lot of research, you came to know remote machine has different version of Java and Chrome. What if there is a way to solve this problem very easily? Assume this is my machine and I have installed Docker in it. We have some simple Docker commands to communicate with it. Those commands will do, let's say, hey Docker, this is my test script. In order to run, I need a Linux machine or a Windows machine. I need Java 8 to be installed. I need Chrome 65 version. I need a folder with that permission. I give all of my dependencies to Docker in the form of commands, and these commands are stored in Docker file. Let's say it's like an algorithm. Int a is 1, int b is 2, return a plus b for addition. This is how we write the algorithm, right? Exactly, we provide the instructions in Docker file. So Docker will create VM like this with all dependencies. Once I create a virtual machine, I can share it to anyone who has Docker installed. So I can share a virtual machine via Docker. We can build the entire infrastructure using Docker image. To run our test scripts on Linux machine using Docker and can verify the artifacts in Docker Hub website. Docker is a tool to create, deploy, run applications along with dependencies using Docker containers. For more info, stay tuned to jobsfm.com.